Hey there, this is Real Talk Baseball. I'm Carlos Baseball. With me, as always, is ErnieOrange, and we're gonna have a great show for you guys today. It's been a while since we've been on, but Ernie just did, and he just hosted. He actually hosted a show last Thursday. How did that go, Ernie?
It was definitely an interesting experience. I really enjoyed it talking baseball, actually fantasy baseball. It was different style of talking the sports, but I really enjoyed it. I hope to be back for fantasy baseball as well.
Definitely, dude. Well, we have a good show here. We back to what we're usually doing. We talk about the weekend, and we talk about the teams. We're gonna talk about the Dodgers. The HOT Padres and D-backs. Not just one of them. The both of them are playing good baseball. We got the Yankees, Orioles. Who's gonna win that division? You got the Mariners and the Astros out in the West. Who's gonna win that division? They're playing close ball, right? So then you have the Guardians at Milwaukee and KC. You can't leave KC out of it because they're only 1.5 game behind Minnesota and 3 games behind the Guardians. But dude, that's an explosive lineup. And at the end of the show, of course, we're gonna have our power rankings all here on Real Talk Baseball. And of course, we're going to start with the Dodgers. Are they going to make the playoffs? And that's the title of our show today. And of course, we do have the Yankees, who is going to win the AL East. But let's start off, dude. Talk about the Dodgers, man. Are they going to make the playoffs?
Well, it's pretty obvious that the Dodgers will be making the playoffs this season. Now, the question is, will they be winning the NL West this season? You have two hot teams like the Padres and Diamondbacks that are heating up at the right moment, at the right time, just with 7 weeks left in the season left. And these teams are coming in hot. They're fighting to get that division. They're tired of seeing the Dodgers continuously win every year. And I don't know about you, man, but this Dodgers team is a team that is dealing with a lot of major injuries this season, Carlos. And I don't know what Dave Roberts could really do. A lot of people are pointing fingers at him. And every time he throws a new arm out there, it looks like they're done for the year. But what do you think? Are you kind of worried as a Dodger fan? Are they in trouble?
So I'm gonna go back to what you just said about Dave Roberts and how people are kind of just talking crap about him and not, you know, uh, I don't know, just saying that he's not the one making all these injuries and stuff like that. But when you have a manager going out there and taking out your pitcher with 2 outs and then having a fresh arm come in, that's a lot of nerves. That's a lot of pressure on the pitcher. That's stress innings. So for me to kind of say and sit back and say, no, it's not Robert's fault, kind of it is a little bit. You gotta play a little bit with it with the pitchers. Now fielding, like, I mean, come on, you just have Mookie Betts come back today. He hit a bomb. He doesn't look like he's missing a beat, but still, like, I just feel like Dodger fans need to be worried because you have the Diamondbacks and you have the Padres playing good baseball. They're in their last 20, they're 16-4, dude. So the Dodgers are playing 12-8, which is not bad either, but
Right?
you have the guys, I mean, the teams that are right on your neck. You're only 3.5 games above these guys. And they one of them went to the World Series and they still don't have their complete team. Montgomery just showed up, right? So for the D-backs, you have Corbin Carroll that's barely, heating up again, getting on base. And Marte, of course, he's been playing hot baseball all year, hitting those 30 home runs. But as a Dodger fan, yeah, you have to be worried. And it's about time that someone's competing with the West, with the Dodgers. Injuries, yeah, they're professionals though. Remember that. They're professional first. And then, once that professionalism, fades away, like you can be like, okay, yeah, there's injuries and stuff like that. But I don't like to use those excuses. I just feel like the
Okay.
Padres and D-backs are the teams to watch for right now. And I know you might think different, right?
No, definitely. And I do see the Dodgers winning the NL West this season. I know that these teams are right behind them right now. But overall, with the return of Mookie Betts, that offensive numbers are going to increase for the Dodgers. It's just the pitching that has me really concerned going into deep into the playoffs. This is where the playoff runs consist of great pitching, great bullpen, and great closers. And I see a lot of missing spots for the Dodgers right now with a lot of injuries. We're not sure what we're going to get from Walker Bueller. Are we going to get the same October Clayton Kershaw? There's a lot of question marks, and it's a lot of answers we don't have yet, right?
Yeah.
But there's definitely the D-backs and Padres are heating up at the right time, like you just mentioned. The D-backs are also returning Eduardo Rodriguez, who everyone knows has a great arm as a lefty out there.
Hmm.
Merrill Kelly just came back, who had a hot October last year. And now you add Jordan Montgomery. Yes, he's had a slow year, had a slow start because he signed late into the season. But you know what he did last year with Texas. Also, another dangerous guy out there. They have strong pitching. And the Padres also are another example of a team that are playing great baseball without Fernando Tatis. He's a guy that's missing a lot of time. You see Jackson Merrill here looking potential NL Rookie of the Year. He continues to hit bombs in the bottom of the ninth or top of the ninth inning, depending what game. But the Padres keep fighting back, and now they lead the NL League with the most comeback wins this season, which is impressive. It's been one of the hottest runs in Padres history, being winners of 16 of the last 18 games. But I think you wanted to ask me a question, and I think you want to go ahead and ask me, what team should the Dodgers be more scared, the Padres or the D-backs?
Dude, yeah, and that's one of the questions that, of course, like when you look at the Padres team and you have Jackson hitting home runs all the time in the eighth or ninth inning, and you're like, damn, they came back. So the last 5-6 games, this man has hit home runs, and like you said, he could be the an NL Rookie of the Year, but it's raising some eyebrows out there. It could possibly get into the MVP voting too. Why not? He's doing amazing out in center field. He's a two-position player. Remember, he bats and he plays the field. Remember, we talked about the last show we got on that Ohtani, can he be an MVP just being a DH? So these are the type of things when you look at other players to try to get into the MVP voting, is that they're playing on the field and they're still showing up in the bat. So we'll get into that later on if that happens, later on in the year. But the question is, who would be the team to be, or who would be the you would be more scared of, the Padres or the D-backs going into the playoffs?
Oh, for me, easily. And a lot of people are going to say the Padres, but I honestly believe it's the D-backs. They're the scary team. We already saw what they did last year with a lot of guys that nobody had ever heard of.
Yeah.
Torey Lovullo's doing a great job out there in Arizona. Having his guys compete left day in out, right?
Yeah.
You got Christian Walker that's out of your lineup right now.
Yeah.
Who else? Gabby Moreno. The guys that are missing, but they're still finding ways to bring in runs with Josh Bell, a great addition into their lineup. And this team is not going to back down, bro. This Corbin Carroll kid is special, and he had a really bad second season, but he is back. Has hit 8 home runs in the last 20 games, and he's special. And we see the speed he brings into those bases and has the potential to be an MVP down the road.
Yeah.
But this D-back team is scary. I don't see the Padres making that run because they have a lot of question marks as well in pitching. We're not sure when Yu Darvish is going to be back. Your Musgrove just came back today, but there's also, we're not sure what he's getting from him. And they just have a lot of question marks with Fernando Tatis as well with his injury. We're not sure if he will be back as well.
So this is the thing with me. Like, I kind of have like, okay, you'd have the Diamondbacks that went to the World Series, and I feel the same way as you. Like, I think the D-backs are the team that you don't want to face in the playoffs. Why? Because you have a man in that team that's been to the World Series and won twice in the World Series, of Jock Peterson. That's the leadership they needed last year, which they didn't have. They have him. Now they have Montgomery that won the World Series with the Rangers. So you have two guys that have been experienced in the World Series, and that takes you a longer way than having these guys. A lot of people think, oh no, they're going to win the World Series without the experience. No, sometimes you need an experience so you can know how to navigate through that game and through the series, because sometimes kids, or not even kids, just well, let's call them kids because they're 20 years old, they're going into the World Series. First 2 games they're already down, and they're like saying, okay, we're out of the series already. And that's why you need those veterans in there to kind of push you to say, hey, we got this. There's only 2 games. We're going back home, or whatever the scenario is. You have these guys. It happened with the Cubs. The Cubs were in the World Series, losing to the Indians. It's not where they weren't the Guardians; they were the Indians still. And and they had a huddle because there was a rain delay, and they had a huddle in the dugout, and they came out and they won that game, and they won the World Series. So those type of things take you a long way. Yeah, it's a gut feeling, it's the experience, all that stuff. So I do pick the D-backs. Going back to what you said about the Padres, I feel like Tatis is not there, and all the people are saying, oh, Tatis is going to be there. It's going to be a difference maker. Well, to me, I still haven't seen Tatis being a part of that team to help them push them to the playoffs yet. Why? Because he's always injured. He hasn't had a full season yet. You can count the 2020 season a full season, which Padres fans are, But if you're not counting the Dodgers ring, why are you counting that as a full season? So so I just feel like sometimes Tatis, I don't know, man. It's good that he's injured right now, and the Padres are playing way better without him, dude. But I know he's gonna come back. You did say Musgrove is back today. You don't know what you're gonna get from Drew Darvish if he's gonna come back this season. They do definitely need him because he's one of those pitchers that pitches really well. So the Padres are missing out on that. But like we said in the early of the year, we don't know what we're gonna get from the Padres. Right now they're playing hot baseball. Are they gonna get cold? And we're just kind of waiting for them to get a little cold, and it hasn't happened. So maybe this is the the start for the Padres to start heating up and having their rookie players show up. So yeah, D-backs, man, D-backs. It's a scary
Yeah,
team to me.
I
Yeah,
really do think D-backs is a scary team. If you think about it, who was their 1, 2, 3 starters last year? It was Brandon Fat, Zach Gallen, and if I'm not mistaken, Merrill Kelly. And now you had
Merrill
Jordan
Kelly.
Montgomery and Eduardo Rodriguez in the mix. That's a
Yeah.
deep rotation. 5 guys that could kill you out there. And it's a team that has proven to beat the Dodgers last year.
Yeah.
As a, compared to the Padres, who only win in the regular season and hasn't really done it when it really counts. They did it obviously in 2022, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a different story. This is not the same Padres from 2022.
No.
It's a different, weaker team, definitely, but they're still competing, which is great to see. But overall, I think the Dodgers win this division. I think the Dodgers will not lose the NL West. They have just the power 1, 2, 3 with Mookie, Shohei, and Freeman, and they're unstoppable once they're all together as a core. It's just
Yeah.
that 6 to 9 batting order that's always been the question mark for them as well. And
Yeah.
now with your rotation, not knowing what you're gonna have, it's scary for the playoffs.
Yeah. And it's kind of scary because you just had Ryan. What's his name? Ryan.
River Ryan.
Reverend Ryan. I it got stuck. Reverend Ryan, dude. He did a play, and I'm gonna go ahead and play it before I say what happened. I mean, I'm pretty sure people already know.
2-0 and Connor Falefa bounces one back to him. The former shortstop, bare hands, turns and fires and shows some of that all infielder ability. Wow, this is
Dude, Joe Davis, where the hell does he come up with all this stuff? I was texting you and telling you, how does he know that he's going to create a nice play and just say that a former shortstop going out to get the ball and then throwing it first and still get him out? That was an amazing throw, dude. And when I saw it, I was like, I know it's a Dodger. I'm just going to go ahead and post it. Anyway, I don't care what people say, but I just thought it was an amazing play. And then just hearing Joe Davis go through that play and say, former shortstop, before he even threw the ball. So I mean, you got to give it up to this guy. You got to give it up to those announcers. Sometimes it's like it's amazing how they pick and they say things like that, and it's like, wow, that's amazing, dude. Really amazing. Like, but I
Definitely,
mean,
it was
River.
a
Yeah, go ahead.
great play by River Ryan, right? He showed
Mm,
his ability to make a great play like if he was a shortstop. Joe Davis is amazing, man. I think it's a very underrated announcer in the game of baseball. It's someone that we should definitely appreciate because he's so young and we have him for such a long time if he
yeah,
continues to do this for the game of baseball, right?
yeah,
Hey, oh,
yeah,
looks like Janice is making our fun of our outfits. Looks like we're rocking Angels Dodgers, and you're representing Under Armour, and I'm rocking Nike, and same type of shirt. What is going on? This was not planned. I just wore the Dodger hat in the last show, so I was like, let me switch it up and go red this time. But
yeah.
yeah, it's great to see that we think alike sometimes,
Hey,
right?
that's a good catch though. That's a real good catch. I didn't even notice. Right now, I'm like, okay, I do see the Nike, and I do see the. You're wearing the Anaheim Angels. I'm wearing the Dodger hat. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, we're rivals right now.
Pretty
in
much,
all faces, dude. The shirt, the hat, everything.
really are.
Yeah. So
Really,
River Ryan did get injured. And he is gonna have Tommy John. He had soreness on Saturday. They took him out in the fifth. I guess he went in 4 2/3 after that play he made in the third inning, I believe. You
hmm
kind of see it on when he flips it and he flickers it to first. Kind of like your arm is not supposed to do things like that when you're pitching. When you're a shortstop, it's okay. You go back to your position and you wait a while unless you get a ground ball right in the next at bat. But the chances of that happening is not it's not that high. So when you're a pitcher and you had that play and then you continue to pitch, of course you're going to stress your arm. So I think that play kind of messed them up, dude. And I mean, I just saw the arm. It kind of like looks like a slingshot. It
hmm
looks crazy. It comes back. It looks weird. Like I don't know, man. It sucks,
yeah.
dude. The Dodgers have been going through all this pitching stuff, like ILs, and I mean, I don't know, man.
It
That's
looks
what's
like
scary.
Yeah, it looks like he will be missing significant time. But a lot of people are pointing it towards a slider that he threw in the fifth inning, I think, and they're
Mhm.
blaming it towards that bitch that stressed his forearm, and now they're relating it to the elbow. But he will be missing some significant time. The kid only pitched 4 games this season, and pitched like I'm not sure, under 60 innings, and had an ERA under 2, which was pretty impressive for his 4 career starts.
Mhm.
It's one of those days where your Dodger fans are hurting right now. It's like, what is going to happen? Who is coming back to replace them? And now with the return of Mookie Betts, I want to switch it on to this. Ahmed Rosario gets designated for assignment. And what was this trade all about? I'm kind of confused. Dodgers made a lot of weird moves this season. Jack Flaherty was their main move that I really liked. But other than that, everything was just a lot of like, why, right? A lot of question marks.
Yeah, a lot of
Ahmed
question
Rosario
marks.
was like an utility guy that was supposed to take over for short. Now with the return of Mookie, you get rid of him. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? That's Dodger.
Dude, I honestly don't know what they were thinking of releasing him. He had a 300 batting average, and you go ahead and DFA him. Like, it makes no sense. And you traded a prospect for him. I don't know, no prospect, but a minor leaguer for him, and he is hitting 300. So I don't know why you would get rid of him. They did give him his chances. He did not prove himself here, or maybe he didn't click with the people, or he didn't click with Dave Roberts. I mean, who
The
knows,
12
right?
at bats? Only
Yeah,
12 at
that's
bats.
it. And
That's not enough.
it's not. It's not. And that's why I'm kind of like, I don't understand where this is coming from. Like, I really feel maybe he's not one of those players that doesn't that needs to play every day, because there's players that are like that. And let me give you an example. For Gavin Lux, since he was hitting third all this time, and he was getting his batting average up, and he was getting home runs, he was getting RBIs, that's the spot that he likes to bat. That's the spot that he, grew up batting in. He's a shortstop. He's batting second. I mean, he's batting third. He's getting all these RBIs, and now you move him back in the lineup. What is he doing? He hasn't done anything today. So that's one of the things where I kind of feel like some players need that, and some players are just meant to be in certain spots in the lineup, because that's how their mentality is. I don't know if you ever heard of the yips. The yips is something that happens to pitchers when they can't throw a strike, and they go to the minor leagues and they just can't find it. It's just an unexplained, I guess you want to call it psychological sickness, I guess. Or I don't know what it is, but it's called the yips. So that same thing happens to hitters, to where like they need to bat second, third, whatever position on that lineup in order for them to succeed. Even to add that to that is that they have to play in the field as well. So I just feel like I don't know. I'm a Rosario, dude. If someone picks him up, someone can still pick him up until the end of August. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully he
I just
doesn't
didn't
come
understand.
against us and beat us, dude.
Over Nick Ahmed. Didn't make no sense. But let's go on to the next topic. I don't know what you
Yeah.
got for us, but
Yeah. We got the Yankees and Orioles, dude, and these teams are playing neck to neck, and I mean, I'm gonna ask you this: who do you got winning the East, the AL East? You got the Yankees and the Orioles playing good baseball. You have the top. I mean, I don't know. Do the Yankees have a top 3 hitters in their lineup? Like, I mean, look. So I'm gonna go over the big 3 in the 5 teams that I see that have potential. You have the Dodgers, Otani, Freeman, and Betts. You have the Phillies. You have Betts, Turner, and Schwarber, right? And then you have the Orioles, Henderson, Rajman, and Santander.
yes.
Then you have the Guardians, Ramirez, Kwong, and Josh Naylor. All right. You go to the Yankees. Who are their big 3? You only have 2, Judge and Soto. Who's number 3?
Oh, Chisholm. Easily.
Chisholm? Oh, okay.
Yes.
So there you go. We have the top 3 for the Yankees, and I wanted to leave it open because Chisholm wasn't there all year. But you are right that Chisholm does belong in that big 3.
He does.
So okay. So since I'm asking who's going to win the AL East, we already talked about the big 3 in each team.
Okay.
Who do you got so far?
Out of all those teams, the big 3 is the Dodgers. Easily.
The Dodgers?
Yeah, they have the best 1, 2, 3 batting order you could ever ask for. You got Mookie Betts, which is, did he bat leadoff today, or did he bat second?
Second. He bat second today.
I don't know what Dave Roberts did there. I actually like Betts at first, and then I would have liked Freeman at second and Ohtani at third. That's just me. And
Yeah.
he has it totally backwards. I don't know. That's just me if I was a manager. Maybe that's why I'm not one.
Yeah.
But let's just say that's my favorite batting order for sure. How about you?
That one right there. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I like it. And this is what I'm gonna go a little rant on this one, because I've told you like what the Dodgers are doing. And they need someone that's going to be aggressive. They need someone that's going to be getting kicked out of games. They need someone that's going to be in your face type of player. Not saying sorry because I hit a foul ball like Ohtani. So I like the lineup. But the thing is, I think we're just too goody tissue. Like, we need to be a little bit more rough. We need someone that's going to be out there and get in your face. Like, if I know this play happened last week, but there was an interference in third base, and that cost him the game. The Phillies won that game, and the rule does state if you don't give path to the runner, of course you're going to be out. I mean, you're going to be safe, but he did not touch him with any body part. He just touched him with a glove, and that's what kind of made it feel like, okay, you didn't give a manager a chance to argue the play. You didn't give no player to come and talk to you and get kicked out of the game. So fans see that, and that's special, because when you start doing that, a player goes out there and argues a play, you kind of understand, like, okay, here's the spark that we needed to pick it back up. And it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen, dude.
You feel like the Dodgers don't have somebody that will voice their opinion, like the Yankees, right?
Yeah.
And the Yankees lineup, you see Judge speaking up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And Aaron Boone
that's what you need.
Crazy.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. And that's what you need, dude. You need someone that go out there and do that for you. Dave Roberts went out there, but it was kind of like, okay, were we expecting you to do it? Or are you going to come out and do it? Or are you like, like, I don't feel like doing it, but I'm going to go out there.
If it was Aaron Boone, he would have gone crazy in these umpires. He would have
as soon as he called it, right?
Right. Or a post-game interview rant. This guy goes crazy.
Exactly.
He would have been pretty upset.
So look, you just brought up a good point. Aaron Boone would just run out there and scream at him, even though he said, I don't want to talk to you. No, he would still go out there. Dave Roberts took forever to go out to the third base umpire. Like, that kind of made me feel like, are you going to go out there? Who's going to go out there? Who's going to talk to him? Like, Rojas was trying to talk to him, but he said, like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. So that's what I'm kind of missing from the Dodgers. Yeah, they have a better lineup. You have Freeman, you have Ohtani, you have Betts, yes, but you still need someone to be that leader and be in your face. Like, I don't know, man. I kind of feel like that's what the Dodgers need if they're going to try to go all the way. But the Diamondbacks are there, the Padres are there, and they got their number. So, what else can you expect? So let's move on, dude. The Yankees and Orioles. Who's going to win that division, since they're really close and they're tied right now for the AL East?
Well, we'll just give you a quick live update. The Yankees are actually losing 12-2 right now to the White Sox out there in Chicago. So they will be losing the AL East right now. They'll be behind by a half a game. I don't know, man. I'm actually going to go with Orioles here for this answer. I just feel that the Yankees pitching is going on a little decline right now. Nestor Cortez has been underperforming this second half of the season. Garrett Cole looks like he is finding his rhythm again, kind of getting more conditioning after missing significant time early in the season.
Yep.
I'm not sure what I'm going to get from Marcus Stroman. And we're really only depending on Judge, Soto, and Chisholm. Other than that, it's a lot of question marks with other guys.
Yeah.
Right? But Jazz Chisholm has definitely been a spark they needed in that offense. He was called overrated in previous seasons, and he's come to show that he could play in the big market. He's not scared of playing with the big crowds.
That's true.
He likes to have fun. And I think he's having a great time in New York right now.
He is. All right, so let me ask you this. Since you're picking the Orioles, you like the big three there, which is Henderson, Rutschman, and Santander?
Yeah, man, it's pretty nice. And I would even up you even a little bit more. They have better pitching as well.
Yeah.
When you add Grayson Rodriguez, you add Zach Eflin in the trade deadline, you got Corbin Burns. That's a pretty good rotation to get you deep into the playoffs. And I don't see that with the Yankees. And this is where the Yankee team has failed time and time again the last decade with having not much great pitching. And that's what's hurt them the most.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to go with the Yankees because the Yankees, and you said it with Aaron Boone, because he stands behind his players and he is in the hot seat. I forgot to mention Dave Roberts is going to be in the hot seat as well, but Aaron Boone is going to be in the hot seat, and he is in the hot seat if he does not make it to the playoffs or deeper into the playoff run, because they've been proven to not make it past the Astros, and the Astros are heating up again, dude. This is crazy, to where we started the season, the Astros weren't showing up. They had the biggest, the best batting average, right? But I think the Yankees have that chip on their shoulder, and they do want to go ahead and play in deeper into the playoffs. And why are they going to do that? Because they're kind of bullying the Orioles, dude. They're bullying the Orioles. They're hitting them. They're retaliating. They're fighting. They're screaming. They're doing everything to get into these young kids' head. Is there somewhere on that team in the Orioles that has that experience, that has been in the playoffs and a deeper playoff run than just the guys that they have since last year? And
I'll name you one guy. Craig Kimbrel.
Oh man, but he's struggling right now. He's struggling.
I just wanted to be funny. I don't mean that seriously. And he's been one of the reasons why the Orioles have been struggling, because they can't close out games with him. Yeah. This is a great question. What the Orioles going to do with this closer position? Are they going to have to call Sir Anthony Dominguez, a guy they traded from the Phillies right now? Because Kimbrel does not seem like he's the answer right now, and I don't trust him in October. But you're right. It is a very young team. Yeah. But it's a team that's shown that they could fight back as well, Carlos.
Yeah.
And when you put Gunnar Henderson and Rushman in there, it's a 1-2 punch that they could play you up 1-2. They're not scared. They're not scared. No Judge and Soto there.
No, they're not scared. But the thing is, for me, like, I feel like in the trading deadline, and I'm gonna go back to experience. Go back to I've been saying this about the Orioles for the past 2 seasons. Maybe even 3. No, I don't know. Maybe I'll just keep it at 2. Yeah. I think they need that experienced player. Like, and I said, why they don't go get a Justin Turner or a Jock Peterson, something that someone that's been there before, someone that's won it, someone that's ready to move to the next level of the playoffs, and move next level for the playoffs for the Orioles is World Series. So if they can do it with someone that doesn't have any experience and they don't have that, then, cool, you're going to shut me up. But if they get eliminated again in the first round of playoffs, then that means that they do need an experienced player so they can go ahead and move on forward to win and go into the World Series. So I picked the Yankees, you picked the Orioles. I mean, hate it or love it. We're never going to agree. That's fine. That's good. Now we'll agree on some stuff.
At the end of the day, both teams will be in the playoffs this season, and it's going to be exciting to see. You got both teams that are very offensively performing at another level this year. And we're going to see who gets hot in October at the end of the day, because that's when it really matters. If you ask me right now, does the division really matter to the Yankees? I think they'll ask you, I'd rather win the World Series than winning the division.
Definitely. I think that's any team. So right. I just feel like maybe they get that extra rest for the pitchers, because they're dealing with the same thing as other teams, that their pitchers are not doing what they need to do and they're not resting enough. So maybe they just trying to win that division to get that rest. And who knows, they might get it, but we won't know until the end of the season. And right now it's a close, since the Yankees are losing to the White Sox. Really? The White Sox, man. All right.
Hey, let me just put it to you. You said rest, though. You've seen what happened to those teams that rested a little too long in the playoffs previously.
I don't like it.
Season.
I don't like it.
It's messed with a lot of teams' timing. Yeah. And has thrown them off. And we've seen time and time again these wildcard teams coming in and just taking over these division winners. So
definitely.
At this point, it depends. What do you prefer? Do you want to get the rest, or do you just want to come in hot and play more games? But go for it.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you go into the wild card. Because remember, we were saying that the Astros won the division last year after the Texas Rangers had first place all year. I guess their best move was that they lost that series against the Astros to go into the playoffs in the wild card, and the Astros won that division, right? So, but the Astros are the only team I feel that hasn't dealt with that problem. The Braves and the Dodgers have. They use that excuse. Good. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't, but that's what they use. So let's move on to the other divisions, dude. You have which one was it? It was
we talked about the Mariners.
Let's do the Astros Mariners, man. Who's going to win that division? And I kind of already know who you're going to pick. So I think we're going to be in the same boat on this one.
Hey, we
still want to hear it.
Okay. I think most MLB fans will want to say, let's hope the Mariners finally make this happen. It's been since 2001 since the Mariners won a division, but it's not going to happen, unfortunately. And it's just the Mariners. I'm not sure if they're a curse. I don't know what's wrong with them. But offensively, they're not performing at a level we would like to see. Yes, they brought in Randy Arozarena in the trade deadline, and he's been performing much better than he was with Tampa. Yep. But then you got Julio Rodriguez. We're not sure what we're going to get. He came back yesterday, and we're hoping that he returns to his, previous seasons. But right now, you have to go Astros, a team that was 10 games behind first place back in June 19. And now you're talking about they're a half a game above the Mariners right now to lead the AOS after winning today. It's a team that has pitching, has experience, number one. I think that's the most important thing. I know early in the season, you guys were like, we're probably thinking they're done. They're finally done. Finally, the Astros will not be here. And here we are. Now we're in August 12th, and the Astros are just going to win this AOS just like they always do. And even if they have to win it on the last day, they don't care. They will win.
They will. They'll find a way to win. Yeah.
They had that experience of pitching, man. You got Verlander coming back. You got Framber Valdez has been dealing. Ronel Blanco. And then you got Bregman Altuve that are just always been your main core guys that always perform when it matters.
Yeah. And you still have Tucker. Tucker's coming back too, right?
That's true.
Yeah. He's still not, and they're like, that's the thing with the Astros, and I'm picking the Astros to win the division as well. Like there's no fight for me to kind of feel like the Mariners are going to do something. Why? Because you mentioned Arozarena. They even got Justin Turner. That experience that they needed. They should have done that a year or 2 years ago. That I feel that right now it's a little too late. Your pitching staff is good, but your hitting is struggling. You were in last place in average, and you had the White Sox ahead of you, and the White Sox only won 29 games. How does that happen? You're a playoff contending team, and you have your batting average last in the MLB. That's not going to cut it, dude. That's not going to help anybody. So why are the Mariners not thinking of trying to get something going, playing small ball, get back into the habit of like stealing bases, doing what you need to do, small ball. And then once that small ball is taken care of, the long ball is going to come. The Astros do that, and they do the long ball. They hit long ball, but they still moving runners over. They're still bunting over. They're still, stealing bases. And that's what they need to do, dude. So I just feel like the Mariners, to me right now, not the team. But the Astros are winning the division. It kind of sucks. I hate saying that.
I think we all know that. It looks like Neto, thank you for tuning in. He says, excited to be amazing to see Mookie back. Kirsch pitching okay too. And extra awesome to see Ohtani hit a huge home run to shut the delusional haters up. Hey, man, the Dodgers are back after having the main core back, right? But as we were mentioning, yes, the Astros are playing much better baseball, even without their star player, Kyle Tucker, who had a lot of promise this year, and they're still finding ways to win, which is amazing. Now, the question to you, I'm going to ask you, can the Astros make it to the ALCS for the 8th straight year this season?
Definitely they can, because they're the most hated team in baseball. And why? I mean, we all know why, but the reason why they will make it that deep is because they have nothing to lose. Everybody hates you, so you're just trying to prove them wrong. That's what you're doing. And some players likes to prove so many people wrong by showing up, getting little hits here and there, like I said, stealing bases, hitting a home run in the 9th, hitting a home run in the 8th inning, creeping up and just scoring runs in every inning. So the Astros do that, dude. So I just feel like the Astros can make it again. Look, the Yankees hate the Astros, and if they play in the ALCS, I'm going for I mean, I'm not going for them, but I'm just going to be like, the Astros got it again. Why? Because the Yankees are just so hell-bent that they want to beat them so bad, and when that happens,
dude, the Yankees can never beat the Astros.
No. It's like, look,
the year.
It's like the 2002 World Series when the Angels went to the World Series. They were always battling it out with the Yankees in the playoffs, and boom, they made it to the World Series. They won the World Series. And if you think about that, like the Yankees and the Angels own the Yankees, dude. Like, as much as people hate to hear that, that's the truth. So
they really did. We owned them in 2004. We took them out in 2005, and I think we took them out in 2007.
In 2007, yeah.
But we couldn't beat the Red Sox. It was just weird. It's just that's how it works. That's the beauty of the game of baseball. you have certain teams' numbers, and then it's the weakest team that could always take you out, and you don't ever know.
Yep.
And that's what's been for the Yankees lately. And that's what I'm saying. Can the Yankees finally overcome this Astro team who has now been struggling? Now you get in a much older Verlander. You no longer have experienced coaching. Now you bring Joe Espada, a guy that's been with the Astros for a significant time as a bench coach. But now he's taking over an Astro team that he has to overcome what other previous managers did, like AJ Hinch and Dusty Baker. It's not an easy job to do neither. So
It's not. It's not.
But
Well,
yes, going back to it, Astros are winning the division. Are you serious again? What happened to the Rangers? What happened to the World Series champs? Are they done? Because they're 7.5 back right now, and they're not looking good whatsoever.
they're done, dude. I don't think they're going into the playoffs. I don't think they're going to do anything to get back into it. I mean, I did see Corey Seager hit a home run off of a no hitter that Framber Valdez was throwing.
That was nice,
and that was a nice shot. I know Corey Seager hates the Astros with a passion. He's one of those players that will show up against the Astros and destroy them completely. So I'm happy for that, at least. So let's move on to the next division, dude. The next division is the AL Central. And this one, you have 3 teams that are fighting for that first spot. And out of those 3 teams, do you feel that Guardians are going to win that division?
Yeah, I think they're the clear favorite right now. I know the Twins have potential with their offense, but the Guardians are definitely a team that's proven all season long that they have what it takes to compete with every team out there.
Definitely.
They had a quick hiccup last week with getting swept by the Diamondbacks, but I think the Guardians right now just took a step back and realized let's just cruise right now and let's not overwork our players. And I think it's happening with all the top teams in the league right now. They're just not playing the best baseball that we thought we would see right now, but it's the Guardians, man. They have a nice 1-2-3 punch with Quan, Ramirez, and Josh Naylor. And the pitching surprisingly has done a really great job for them. And then let's talk about their bullpen. It's one of the best bullpens out in the MLB, and they continue to hold leads like no other team has.
Yeah, I agree, dude. I think the Guardians are doing what they need to do when they need to do it. And they're playing small ball as well. They're playing small ball and it's taking care of itself. You're having runners moving from first to second on a stolen base, and then they bunt them over to third. So I was checking them out in the game, and they can, play. I thought it was just a fluke on how they're winning their games, but no, the AL Central is pretty strong this year. They're beating up on teams. Yeah, they did lose to the Diamondbacks, like you just mentioned, but the Diamondbacks are playing a lot better baseball. So you got to give them that as well. And the Guardians, they need to step a little bit back. They need to realize, okay, it's a long season. It's not what is it called? It's not a sprint race. It's a marathon, I guess, right?
Yes.
So you have to know how to get to the end of the season, and this is how it's happening. So you have the teams that are behind that are creeping up on you. So you have Kansas City, which is the 3rd place, but they can still make the playoffs. And then the Twins they've been playing okay baseball as well, and they're part of our power rankings maybe. So you have the Guardians winning the division then?
Yeah, I just see it happening. I don't see this Twin team catching up, even though they're 3.5 back right now. This is a Twins team that has played really great offensively, but it's just been inconsistent. They've had a lot of injuries. We're not sure what we're getting from Royce Lewis. When he's healthy, he plays great, but that man is always hurt for some reason. It's part of the game. Injuries happen. He's not the only guy dealing with injuries this season.
Yeah.
You got Joe Ryan, a guy that's also got hurt earlier this week. That's going to miss significant time. And I don't know. I think I question their pitching a lot. Besides Pablo Lopez, I don't see anybody out there that's really like ace type for me that can win them the division.
Now you have Pablo Lopez, dude. Pablo Lopez has kind of been,
mid-season, off-season, like not the best season, right?
Yeah,
it's been kind of mid. Then you got a Royals team that made some major signings with a lot of experienced players and started out pretty great this first half of the season. But now you're seeing the decline going into the second season. That marathon's catching up to them, I guess. It's a long season. It's 162 games. Bodies start to wear out, and they're not performing the same way they were at the first half. Well, the Guardians have maintained consistency all season long, and they prove time and time again they get those big hits, man. I don't know how they do it. They're down, and they find a way to get a home run and bring in the tie. Just today, they beat the Cubs 9-8, and it was a slugfest out there. But what did they do? Got the home run when they most needed it to win the game, and that's what they do best.
Yep, and that's how they've been playing good baseball. Ramirez came out saying that he's better than Barry Bonds, so he has something to prove this year. Yeah, so he has something to prove this year, so we'll see. All right, let's go into the power rankings, and I'll let you go first, Ernie. I think I went first last time, Go ahead, man.
Yeah, definitely. Let's get this show started up. My power rankings were a little different. I went ahead with Orioles at number 1, Yankees at 2, Phillies at 3, Dodgers 4, and Guardians at 5. I feel like all these 5 teams have been on the top 5 list all season long. It's just kind of been mix and matching all season long. There's depending what weeks they kind of had, but all these teams could go from 1 to 5 at any moment, and they're all great teams that are going to make some noise in the playoffs. Now, from the 6 to 10, I feel like the Brewers have consistently stayed at 6 all year round for me. But that 7 through 10, man, I see new teams every other week. We've had the Braves in there, and they're no longer in the top 10. They finally kind of went downhill after the second half. They lost major injuries. So I have the Astros at number 7 for what they've been able to do, overcome, and get first place into the AL West now. And then the D-backs, and you have the Padres ahead of the D-backs. I personally have the D-backs higher. They've had tougher matchups this week. They faced the Guardians, which they swept, and they went ahead and beat the Phillies 3 out of 4. While the Padres have faced a lot of much weaker teams. They faced the Rockies, the Marlins, the Pirates, and yes, they've won, which they have to do, but a lot of their wins have been from comeback from behind. And while we want to say, yes, a win is a win, you want to see a team that's dominating, and I think that's what the D-backs are doing right now. Offensively, they're blowing teams out, and they're killing them out there in the field. And then I have the Twins at number 10. I think it's a team that's been maintaining themselves really well all season round, and I think they're in the playoff mix, if you ask me. And I think they will overtake the Red Sox to get that last wild card spot.
Definitely. So yeah, you just said the 1 through 5 is going to be remaining almost the same. We talked about the big 3 out of those 5 teams, and you can't go wrong with choosing who's going to be first, who's going to be second, right? The Phillies were first for the longest time, and now they cooled off a little bit. They come to Dodger Stadium, they play their lights out, and then they leave, and then they start playing not the way they're supposed to. So, I just feel like the Phillies are the only ones that I feel like moved significantly, because they were number 1. Now I have them at 3. And then I'm going to say why I have the Padres at 7. The Padres coming back in the 8th and 9th, 10th, and then the 8th and 9th inning, that is something hard to do, because you are facing the top pitchers of your team, of the opposing team. And when you do that, you discourage the other team from kind of questioning, do we put this pitcher the next day if we put ourselves in that position again? And that's why I put the Padres there. The D-backs, yeah, they have been playing good baseball. They've been tearing it up. They've been doing everything they need to do. And you know what? You can't go wrong. Both of them are in their last 20 games. They're 16-4, dude. Both teams. You can't go wrong with that. And there's been a lot of topic and a lot of conversation on all these social media saying that the D-backs are better, the Padres are better, but never are they saying that both of them are playing good baseball right now, that both of them deserve to be where they're at right now. They're only 3.5 games behind the Dodgers, and they're scaring the Dodgers, which is kind of like where the Dodgers are kind of putting a little bit of gas on that, on that car to try to get a little bit more advantage out of them. But I honestly think we can't go wrong with the power rankings, because I think we got the same teams on there, Ernie. And I don't see any different teams on here. We got the Twins at 10. They could have been a little bit higher. And then the Astros, for me, I have them at 9, because I think that's the weakest division right now, dude. You have the Astros playing in a division to where the Astros are hurt, and they're still, in that mix. Remember, we talked about it earlier. We said that earlier this year, they were 10 games behind. What was it, June 17th? That's a long time ago. So now they're in first place. And I mean, it's going to get better for them. We'll see as the season goes on. But if you don't agree with our power rankings, go ahead and post it here. Go ahead and post it wherever you want. Let us know what your power rankings are, because we definitely want to hear from you, because we do take our time and we do go ahead and talk about it. But I like your pick, dude. I do really like your picks. I'm not picking any wrong ones. What's up?
I'm starting to think you're a Yankees fan, man. I don't know.
A Yankees fan?
You know what? You have them at number 1, and then you're choosing them to win the division. I don't know, man. Are you a confused Dodger Yankee fan out there?
Dude, I might be a new look. Okay, the Dodgers played the Yankees this year, right? And they played them out in New York, and I got to see Aaron Judge, and I got to see, and I didn't go to the stadium, but I got to see that series, and that series was a wake-up call for me, I guess. It was the top 2 teams of the MLB, name-wise. And if you want to go ahead, the Yankees were playing good baseball at the time when the Dodgers played them. So I saw that. I just felt like Aaron Judge is one of the players that I like to look up to. He doesn't show off. He doesn't, talk crap on media. He always knows how to behave. If he needs to go out there and talk crap to the umpire, he'll do it. He'll stick up to his team for his team. So maybe that's the type of thing I see. Like when Jeter was playing, that's the type of thing I used to see. So I wasn't a Yankee fan. I was just a fan of the player. How they show and how they carry themselves, and that's what Aaron Judge does. So that kind of made me feel like, oh damn, like the Yankees have something going. I'm not a Yankee fan, but maybe like I said earlier, am I turning into one? Like, nah, I'm not. But I did say that earlier in the year. Like maybe my second team is the Yankees, and you would never catch me saying that back in the days. You would never hear me say I'm a Yankee fan. I'm not a Yankee fan, but it's just I appreciate those type of players, and you got to give them credit when you see it because you don't see it all the time. You're in an era where they have a lot of showboating, and this man is not doing it. So that's a big ups for him. So yeah,
Come
man,
on,
I'm not a
Carlos.
Yankee fan.
Let him showboat a little bit. Come on, man. You know you like the bat flip. Stop
Oh,
lying.
of course I do. Of course I do. You know what? It's funny because if I was doing it right now, like let's say I was playing baseball and I was doing something like that, I don't think I'll be able to bat flip or none of that stuff. I just don't have it in me to do that stuff. I don't know what it is, dude. And I'm not
Okay.
saying that whoever does it is wrong. Go ahead and do it. I like when Juan Soto does a little shuffle and stares at the pitcher, and the pitcher gets a little like, oh, he's startled, like, oh fuck, man, this guy's in my head already. I hate it sometimes. I hate it when he did it against the Dodgers, but when I see it against other pitchers, I'm like, man, this guy's getting into the pitcher's head. Like that's amazing, dude. That's amazing.
Yeah.
You can do that.
The game has changed for sure, and it's some people prefer it and some people don't like it. It's the beauty of the game. You get to watch it and you get to choose who's your favorite player based on how they act on the field, right? And how they perform. So that's great to see that Aaron Judge is a player that you do admire. And you're right. He does like play the game just like Jeter. And it's crazy to think about it because now that you it puts me back into perspective that, yeah, this guy is a captain. And that's what the Yankees expect from a captain and their team.
Yeah. It's like there's a handbook out there for you. Like, hey, here you go, man. This is the way you have to behave. This is the way you have to carry the team. So, like, I don't know. It's kind of like when you apply to be a supervisor or manager. Like, you have to know how to do this. You have to do this. In the interview process, when they give you the captain title, hey, we're expecting you to do this, and this. Like so. It could be that. And of course we all know that the Yankees are a higher standard. They shave their beards. You have to be clean. I'm like, I won't be able to do that, but more power to them, dude. Let me go ahead and talk about something that we posted earlier in the IG earlier in the week, and it was about the bobbleheads. The first bobblehead was in 1960s introduced into the baseball stadium. So the very first one was Willie Mays, which was pretty dope. And then you had, let me go ahead and name them out here: Mickey Mantle, Roberto Clemente, and Roger Maris. So you had 4 bobbleheads. Of course, they weren't giveaways, but they went ahead and put it out there and sold them. And, when they went to the World Series, because in the 1960 World Series, there was the Yankees and Pirates. Out of those 4 players, 3 of them made it to the World Series. So it's like, marketing was on it in that year. Imagine none of them would have made it to the World Series. Those bobbleheads would never happen. They sold a lot of them. Now you have giveaways in every stadium. So when you get to see those bobbleheads that were back in 1960, like a Roger Maris, like a Roberto Clemente, if you see it in the yard, so you better pick it up and take it home, dude, because those were the first ones.
Wow, that's amazing to know. So 1960 was the first bobblehead you're saying?
Yes, the first baseball bobblehead introduced into the MLB in the stadium, because you had the one that was in the 1800s, which was a cat that you guys, it's everywhere. Everybody has them in their car now, and it's like a little plastic neck, and it moves and it moves. Well, that was a bobblehead, but the bobblehead that was a baseball player and introduced into MLB was in the 1960s. So if you didn't know, now you know.
Were they similar to the ones we have now, or were they much bigger?
So they were a little bit bigger. They had a little bit fatter heads, and they will move a lot more than they do now. So that spring was a little spring. So a lot of those broke off. So if you see a broken one, you can go get it fixed or whatever. Like I said, if you see those bobbleheads in the yard sales, pick it up. Don't even think about it twice. Just pick it up and buy it. I'm pretty sure they'll sell it for 25 cents because they probably don't know what they're selling.
Yeah, man. I would ask you, do you have any special bobbleheads that you like, that one of your favorite ones that you have with you here as a collection?
Dude, I have collection. I have a lot of Dodger ones. I just bought the David Justice one, so that one's coming soon. And I'm looking at the Jeter. We just talked about Jeter, and I'm gonna buy the Garcia Parra, but they're a little pricey, dude. So they're collectibles, though. They're collectibles. So
All right, all
um,
right.
we have Hee-Haw Poker. He says Dodgers are trash. I mean, everybody has an opinion. That's good. You know, if you're going to be the top team in baseball and not get crap for it, then you're not the top team. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I mean, looks like a lot of fans definitely have been bashing the Dodgers. You know, they just spent a lot of money early in this offseason. A lot of fans are saying they spend $1 billion to get their players. But we got to sit back and realize that most of these contracts were deferred, and they're not paying the full amount just yet. They'll be paying over the next 10, 15 years.
Definitely.
Just the Dodgers are not playing the greatest baseball we've seen lately, but hey, they've won 4 in a row. What can we expect? We just know what happens in October, and that's when we're most afraid of right now, right?
Yeah.
Like, yes, the regular season, Dodgers always dominate, but what's going to happen in October? I think that's the main question everybody wants to know.
I hope they don't choke, man.
Are you over it?
No, I'm not over it.
Talking about bobbleheads, it's a great thing to bring a lot of fans into the game. You see the amount of fans, the sellouts when there's bobbleheads in the stadiums. There's been a lot of special ones every year. You know, people fight for these, right? Tickets go off the roof just to get a bobblehead. They'll only give a certain amount in the stadium, so you got people going 3-4 hours earlier to get into the stadium to assure they get a bobblehead. It's crazy, man. I have a Mike Trout one. I know I've seen you have a Mike Trout Shohei one combined, which is pretty awesome. I have a lot of classic ones, man. I got a Brian Jordan Dodger bobblehead. I got a Fred McGriff Dodger bobblehead. Guys that, like, wait, they play for the Dodgers? Because you kind of remember them as a Brave, right? But they actually were Dodgers as well. I have a lot of old school ones. Sean Figgins, remember that guy? Guy used to steal out of base. I have his bobblehead. I have a lot of special ones, man. But bobbleheads, there's a lot of them, man. And every season we see teams give out a lot, especially the Dodgers. Feels like every day is a bobblehead giveaway. It doesn't matter who, where, and they'll have one available for you guys every week. But it's what makes great for the game of baseball. People like to collect these, and people like to trade, and this is fun.
Yeah, it is fun. And I want to tell you, like, maybe you do know or you don't know. I'll go ahead and ask you. You said Brian Jordan?
Yes.
Okay. What other sport did Brian Jordan play?
Oh, he played football for the Atlanta Falcons.
Okay, the next question was, who do you play for?
And you know why I know this, guys? Because my bobblehead box said that he played football for the Falcons.
Nice.
And, that's the beauty of it, because the bobblehead comes in a box, right? And usually tells you a little bit of their biography or a little bit of their way of how they got into baseball or their statistics. So it kind of feels like a baseball card in a way. Definitely. Where, you know, I'm kind of curious how much the Shohei bobblehead costs for the Dodgers now that some time has passed.
I'm pretty sure it's still up there in the 250s. It kind of sucks that there's people that went out there. I know I went and got the Ohtani and Trout because I said, what if he's not an Angel next year? I have it there. I still haven't opened it, you know, so I'm not trying to sell it, but I mean, it's a good memorabilia for me. Like I collect stuff like that. I look into it. I'm like, okay, cool. I have it. Now that I have it, I'm like, what am I going to do there? Am I ever going to sell it? No, I don't think so. I'm just going to have it. So whenever people ask me like, oh, Mike Trout and Ohtani played together, like, yeah, I went to a game. Here, look, I have a bobblehead. Like, it feels good to say that stuff. Like, look, I have a World Series ball that Chewy gave me, the 2020 for the Dodgers. I have it with me. So I went to Game 6. I have that ball right there, and I'm gonna go ahead and say, hey, I got it in the World Series Game 6. So, so that type of stuff, it just, you know, it makes us feel good as fans. If you've never been on this show, like, this is what we do. We talk baseball. We talk whatever. It has to be with baseball, of course. If you have your opinions, like Hee-Haw Poker said, that's fine. That's good. That's perfect. We love that because we like talking baseball. If you have your opinions on here, we'll put it on here and we'll talk it out. Of course, there's never any, you know, what do you call it? Tense moments. I don't think we've ever argued and had fans argue about stuff, which is really important because this is a platform where we want to just talk baseball and stay positive. Of course, we're going to have disagreements, and that's the way it is. But when we have things where people start talking crap, and I think we had that once way back when we first started doing this. There was a heckler coming on here and just talking crap, and he wasn't even baseball, so it was kind of weird. But I mean, whatever. We love this. If you have your team, go ahead and post it on here. We'll talk about them right now as well. So yeah,
Definitely.
that's what it
Make
is.
sure to hit that like and subscribe if you're listening for the first time, or if you're one of our previous listeners. Thank you for always checking us out. And we have a lot of great content coming up for the next couple weeks. We have 7 weeks remaining in the baseball season, and then we'll head into the playoff season, which is great. A lot of people come back and watch baseball.
Yep. Definitely. We got 5 more minutes, Ernie. 5 more minutes so we can hit that hour mark. We haven't hit it yet. I don't think we have hit it in the past shows. So let's get a little bit into what else are we going to do during the year next the podcast, because I have something lined up. I just can't say what it is. I've been working hard. It is going to be an MLB player. I just don't want to say who it is yet. We do have people from TikTok that I've been talking to that we can have on the show, because they're really, really like on it on TikTok, dude. We had Padre Bot from TikTok. I asked him if he can join us again. He is a Padre fan. We want to get his feedback on how San Diego is feeling right now and how they're dealing with, their playoff push. I want to get someone from Arizona and see if we can do it. It's just all the people that I talked to, they're kind of, I don't want to say that word with a D, but that's what they are. And I need to get someone else, dude, that's gonna be pretty good at talking baseball, but also talking about their team and respecting the level of the game, right? So I just haven't found one. And then if we can get a Yankee fan, I think I got the Zoo guy. I've talked to him, but I don't know if he's ready to come on here. So maybe we can get him on here. So we'll see. Let's see. I'm back. Jordan. Okay. We have White Sox now 12-2 over the Yanks. And yeah, man.
I don't know about that. Come on, Yankees.
Dude, they lost 21 in the row. Was it 21 or 20?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. You saw the image of Miguel Vargas looking like, where the heck did the Dodgers just trade me here? You feel bad for the guy, but hey, man, this guy's going to get a chance to play every day. And he's going to be able to develop himself into a full-time MLB player, and hopefully get to shine and get paid, yeah. Like every player deserves.
Definitely. Well, I mean, we're not going to be able to reach that hour, but it's okay. We did our best and we did what we needed to do. If you have more questions, go ahead and hit us up on our Instagram. We have an Instagram. We have an X. I said it right this time. Facebook and TikTok. And of course, right here on YouTube, you can go ahead and give us questions, because I think we get answered pretty fast, right, Ernie?
Definitely. We're here for any baseball content, any knowledge you guys want to drop on us. We're here to listen, and we're here to talk with you guys baseball all day.
Yeah. And if you have fantasy baseball questions, we do have the Thursday show where we have our 2 guys giving their experience and giving you picks to kind of win and navigate through your season. So don't forget that show. That's on Thursdays. And of course, last mentions, Ernie.
Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. We had a great show here, Power Hour on a Monday, which is a special episode. We're happy to be here. Sundays or Mondays, we like it. Depends what we have a schedule with our personal lives, but other than that, we enjoy being here on a weekly basis, and we will always provide you the best baseball content here and Real Talk Baseball
on Sundays. Today's a Monday, but yeah, we'll treat it like a Sunday. Yeah. Definitely. All right, cool. From all of us here on Real Talk Baseball, I'm CarloBaseball. This is ErnieOrange. Real Talk Baseball signing out.